13 semi-trucks. A pretty lofty goal when you think about it. 13 semi-trucks equals the total amount of weight lost in a goal set by a famous influencer. This very same influencer we lost this week. I intend to highlight some of the goals and discussions that she had with others and celebrate her life. She's well known, and by the looks of some of the press, well respected. Some of the people on our panel share in these goals. We're also going to talk a little bit about how we've gotten to where we've gotten today. Have they lost? Are they losing? Are they getting better? As truckers, we share a lot. We share a lot of interests. We share a lot of passion. And we want to do one thing: deliver the load, live to see another day. And furthermore, the way we do it is troubled. Only slightly. Because there's always somebody that's got a better opinion. There's always somebody out there that takes a news story and tears it apart to be something it's not. Well, this show is primarily here to do one thing, and that is to take myth and turn it into truth. I like talking about the facts and making them realistic. I like talking about news, pulling issues out of news and making them something the mainstream media can't do. So let's get into today's show. I'm glad you joined us. Thank you. If you're in the audience, comment, tell us where you're talking to us from. We'd certainly like to know. Let's have a great show today and talk about £1,000,000.
We begin.
From the trenches of trucking experience and a passionate heavyweight in the Truth and Broadcasting Network. Welcome to Truckin City News FrontLine Podcast. Hosted by the most opinionated broadcaster on YouTube, Boss Man.
It is another day, another week, and I'm going to start today's show out by apologizing for Wednesday. We have something in the industry called schedules, and mine was particularly troubling this week. It was troubled to me because, well, you know what? Nobody's perfect, and I will certainly not be one to claim that on any front. You know, I'm told from time to time, be here, be there, do this, do that. And you know what? I run a channel that perfectly explains what happens. It's called That's Truckin. By the way, if you want, look that up. It's in the links in my channel. It explains it perfectly. You know what? Trucking's just that. It's not perfect. We have our lot in life. You know, we got to get there yesterday, get the load delivered today, and hopefully tomorrow is a better day. Well, Wednesday just wasn't my day. So the fact that I didn't show up on Wednesday, I greatly apologize, but we are here today and we are talking about weight. We are talking about health, and we are talking about things that make us better. Not that major, but just around the community of people that you know on this channel, we talk about weight loss and good health. And one of the things that's recently taken over 3 channels for which I collaborate with is just that. A weight loss competition between 3 truckers that involves also you in the audience And my understanding is they're doing one heck of a job. So maybe we can check off today a few pounds on this 13 semi thing we'll talk about shortly. And let's see what kind of impact we're making in the world of good health and weight loss. So we're going to bring on a couple of guests and we're going to talk about the basics on getting better health and getting life, as it were, together better for you and them and everyone involved. So the three guys that I'm talking about involved in this competition are Driving with John, Grumpy Old Trucker, and Midlife Trucker. You three have been neck and neck, real close, real tight on getting the pounds lost, improving your health, and involving your viewing audience in the result. So let's check in with them, and without not forcing you to watch their channels and see their videos, let's see how they're doing. John, I understand you're actually sweating it out a little bit. Is it really becoming a problem, or are you actually holding your own?
I don't know. I just dropped a video this morning. You're welcome to go watch it. I know it's a close competition, and I was having a rough week this week. So we'll have to wait and see in the video how it comes out.
There you go. All right. Well, I look forward to watching it because, as I just opened the show with, my schedule's been such that I haven't had time to think, much less, in fact, this entire show is winged. It's all up here. There's no talking points. There's no script where usually I have one. So let me know in the comments at the end of the show if I suck or not. That's all I want to know. Midlife, you have been, I think, probably far and above to
Is anybody else hearing lag? I think the boss
Yes.
man. Might be
Actually, I'm
lagging.
only hearing very little of what he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
definitely
think he's having
gotta check out
internet.
those videos. You got to check out those videos on the channels because I'm definitely getting kicked. And, you got to be careful because there's people stomping out there. But I can tell you, I'm working hard on trying to lose a little weight. Scale numbers go up and down. Now, did the boss man actually say use? Use, guys?
Use.
That's what
Use, guys.
I
Yeah.
heard.
I've got that New Yorker thing going on. Come on. You got to know
You
me
got
by
the
now.
audio back now. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right. That may be something else. I don't know.
Yeah, I think a cloud passed over your internet.
Yeah, could be, I guess. I'll have to watch the replay and see what's been missed. How about you, Grumpy? What's your latest update and development? Do you want to disclose anything, or do you want to push people to your channel to see it?
Well, I haven't made my video yet. It'll come out probably on Sundays when I try to drop it. I'll just say this much. I'm kind of like Tom just basically come out with and said, your weight goes up and down. So, it may be a real surprise for people this week because Grumpy's a little disappointed.
Wow. We all have our better days and we have our worst days.
I think
So we aren't
sandbagging us.
Huh?
He's sandbagging us.
I was just gonna say I think
No.
Grumpy probably feels. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say he does this false thing where he's like, oh, I don't know, maybe, and then he kicks your butt. I'm not falling for it. Nope, not anymore. Nope, pedal to the metal. I ain't slowing down. So
Right. I hear you. Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I respect all three of you. I think what you're doing is admirable. And it falls right in line with basically what I've got to say about truck driving and the mission of this channel. And I mean, it's quite honest. I mean, it started with talking about mainstream media, but I think it evolved it to be including not only mainstream, but inspiration as well. And one person I would love to model is a person I'm about to kind of briefly cover and talk about. Unsure the exact date of this event, but I'm understanding a few days ago, we lost a very famous influencer. And this influencer had a lot to say about losing weight. Her full name was Candace Harmony Rivers. She was an influencer which had a very lofty goal to talk about goals. She wanted to help the industry of trucking lose up to 1,000,000 pounds. And for some reason, I have now discovered where you're talking about this lag coming from. I don't know what it is, but Danny Rivers had a goal of helping the trucking industry lose 1,000,000 pounds. He was doing this awareness campaign, good fitness. She had It's Possible Trucking, which you see on her t-shirt there. She had an influence campaign that she was peddling for quite a long time to try to help the industry lose 1,000,000 pounds. That's a lofty goal when you think about it. It's a lot of people. My understanding is before her passing, she had quite a large following and quite a number of people that, similar to the panelists we were talking about a moment ago, wanted to do just that, wanted to increase fitness awareness, wanted to lose weight, wanted to become more fit and more positive in trucking. So what I would like to do, if my computer will cooperate with me, is I want to play for you a clip that basically her mother with her sometime, I don't know the exact, but in announcing her this interview, and I thought it fitting to bring it up and let you guys hear basically what she had in mind, the difference she wanted to make in the trucking industry.
I've been doing fitness since I was 19 years old. Fitness saved my life. I had a lot of anger. I had a life that tried to break me, but the very things that try to break you are the very things that God will use to make you. And when I found fitness, it gave me a place to put my anger. It gave me a place to, take my energy and put it into a positive place. And pain leads you to purpose if you allow it. So I was in fitness. I had my own fitness studios, doing everything in the industry, doing very well, honestly. And I was riding down Interstate I-20 in Alabama. And I was just talking to God. And I was asking him, I said, Lord, I know you gave me this, but who did you give it to me for? Who do you really want me to use this gift for? And, it's one of those things that every time I tell the story, it doesn't matter how many times, I feel it like it was yesterday. All of a sudden, while I'm driving, the darkest, ugliest feeling comes and sits in the car with me. And I'm literally driving, not knowing what's going on. And I'm like, okay, what is this? Why am I feeling this? What's going on? And you know how something can be right in front of you and you don't see it until the right time? So I asked God, this is one of the most realest moments I've ever had with him. What is this? And I heard the words, they're forgotten about.
How about that? Something so profound, so quick, so happening, just hit her like that. I mean, that may seem simple, but that was a life-changing story, and that was a life-changing moment for her. And I fully believe that ever since that interview, whenever that was, I'll have to resource and find out when it is. That basically changed her life, and it made her into the person she is today, is today. I mean, even though she's gone, I fully believe that the mission she stands for will live on, and I have no problem reminding people of that, mainly because my wife went and stayed up late doing some research and came up with some facts. So let's talk about this, guys. I mean, Does trucking really need more people like that? Do we need more people with this kind of positive mindset? What say you in the audience? Put down in the comments what you think. We're going to open the studio lines here in a few minutes and see if we can bring on some people on the phone lines. Give us a couple of minutes to get that sorted out, and we'll check through the comments. John, what do you think of that interview? Any way to relate?
Well, I think it's awesome when someone follows what they feel like they're directed to do by God. I think that's an awesome thing. I also think truckers probably need to hear it, but let's be honest, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So you deciding to do that step is on you, just like it was on me. Yes, I might have been catapulted by Midlife Trucker and the Dare and the challenge, and my mouth wrote a lot of checks that my body has to cash, but hey, you got to do what you got to do.
Inspiration will hit every very unique, and much like the segment I just played, it hit her the way it did differently. So, what do you think of her mission, her statement, and how it affects you? What do you think about?
It's very inspiring. I mean, I'm not sure much about this lady, but the factor of it is her wanting to get the word out, try to get others to participate, to lose the weight, to feel better and feel healthier. That's right there tells you something. I mean, and the factor that she went upon having the guidance from the good Lord. That's another thing I like. I mean, this is inspirational, big time.
Yes, definitely. I'm queuing up my comments because we're going to be talking about them here in just a moment. So, trying to keep my setup kind of fluid here so that we don't lose pace. What about you, Midlife? What do you think? Are you into this inspiration from the man above? Can you relate to any of that, or what say you on this whole thing?
I actually never encountered her channel, but one thing I don't do is I don't discuss religion with people that I don't know personally. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just not a guy to go out and talk about religion.
Well, I get that. I get that.
By the way,
putting the religion
I am getting
aside.
ready. I'm actually getting ready to stop at a place that is the ACT Road Angel Truck Center. If those who don't know about it, it's near Effingham. So if you're ever hurting for parking, you should look up ACT Road Angel. Free parking. They got free meals for truck drivers, and their parking lot is always empty. I've shown up there at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there were 25 spots out of the 40 available. Just so you know. And there's also free snacks, free coffee.
Yeah. Just so you know, audience, stick around because we're going to have a brief conversation on truck parking. So it's cool that you mentioned that, Midlife. We certainly appreciate you letting others know where to go and how to find
a little church on the
as
road.
You say, free parking. Huh?
They've got a little church on the road if you want to stop by and get a little material.
There you go. I always respect people that have honesty in their public awareness. So I respect your opinion. But nonetheless, when somebody goes out of their way to inspire others, whether they do it through religion or whether they do it through just the use of personal admiration, you gotta love it when they do it. Candace put God first, and I think I speak for some of us on the panel. We likewise think that. She made it a public. You, Larry, decided to put your eggs in a different basket, but you probably nonetheless will thank God every day for the inspiration to come to you. What do you think about her mission and how it relates to your everyday life?
Yes, I followed her on social medias, and she was she was very motivated to spread what she had to say. I mean, I followed her from even while she was going through truck driving school. So, and that was probably even before everything else took off for her.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just the simple fact that now, all this time later, I just learned that being told things in my ear as we're going through. Um, Candace had 2 kids, the age of both my kids. So my heart definitely goes out to, I mean, first of all, everyone in her family, everybody that she was close to,
Oh yeah,
mostly the children that she was raising. Um, Loss of someone that special and that close is never easy for anyone. So yeah, that's got to be traumatic on their part. Um, However, that being said, okay. Um, if you guys are interested in services and information, I don't have that information readily available, but I'm led to understand they're having services for her honor and her celebration of life services today. So I just wanted to point that out. Um, Now, Fate, I know you're not one usually to likewise, mix religion and stuff like that. But I mean, when it comes to social media, today it's so easy to find someone to inspire you to make changes in your life. What do you think of her public campaign to do what she was doing while she was here? And who inspires you? Your audio, I think,
Sorry,
got messed
my
up.
mic
There you are.
my mic was
Yeah.
muted. Um,
Yep.
the inspiration side's good, man. I mean, trucking is a very unhealthy industry. I think we can all agree on that. I don't believe that there is a lot of positivity when it comes to your overall health in trucking. So the fact
Hmm.
that somebody was trying to help people, I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. Um,
Yeah.
what inspires me, this is going to be very self-centered. uh I inspire, like, I'm inspired by my drive, what I'm
Yeah.
able to do, and that kind of keeps me going, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
My self will.
Hmm.
um but yeah, I think anytime people can lead people to better fitness, better mental health, hey man, however you need to get there is how you need to get there. And if she was able to help people, good, good for her.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, her inspiration and her message, thankfully, is one that will live on long after she's left. And I mean, just the fact that she had the channel, the following, the people involved, kudos to her. I mean, it was a wonderful thing, and it will live on. It will keep going. By the way, legacy is something I strive to do with every single show. I want my show, my channel, and my mission and my message to live on long after I depart this world. These kids will benefit from it. You will benefit from it, and that's one thing that I admire about this lady. She knew this. She knew it was coming. She had a little bit of warning, and she made it a mission to make sure everybody would remember her the right way. So kudos to her for that. Let's get on some comments. Moving today, no kids showed up. God bless you, my friend. I've done it. And at our age, it's never easy on our own. Thank you for telling us. I wish you the best. My daughter's in the house, giving us a grace and hello all. Let me see. Yeah, task me with revealing that. I've honestly only gained about maybe 1 pound, but that's only because I've sporadically weighed myself, not on a schedule. I've just eaten more. And between you and me, if I don't keep it up, the good lady's gonna deck me. I'm not gonna do that. So yeah, I'm keeping that one close under hat. So yeah. But thank you for asking, Poet. I appreciate that. Um, he says weight goes up and down. Trust me, I know. Yes. All right. We have others here. I'm looking at the big screen because I can't see the small print. So Hint, John, hint. I pick. I really do. I pick. She's driving. I'm wondering if you're asking about Candace.
No,
I
no,
don't. Yeah.
no.
I
He
don't know
said
what
he
it
was.
is.
He said he was watching from the car, and I said be safe,
Oh, I
and he
see.
said
Oh,
she's
okay.
driving. Yeah,
Okay. So now, okay. Yeah. Yes.
yeah. So even on a big screen, I guess you can't follow it, huh?
Well, I see
Oh,
these comments separately, John. You know, I'm not going to pick on you because I know something about you, so I'll be nice.
yeah. I
Mama's going to
bite.
take me to pick up the truck. Reruns. Well, and whether it's reruns or whether it's live, I thank you for watching. Anybody in the audience, if you have ever, run across Candace, if you know of her, if you have a feeling one way or the other about influencers on social media, put it in the comments. Let us know. I mean, I'm personally touched and moved by her story. I feel like I feel like I got to do more. I honestly do. I try to work it out so I can put more videos out. I can put more live shows out. I think I'm doing an okay job, but sometimes I feel like I'm second guessing myself. And you know what? I only hope that throughout my whole career on YouTube, I can actually hold a candle to this girl. But that being said, you know what? We all have our lot to live, and God blesses us with a certain finite time on this world. So we have to make the best of it. So, going through the comments. So, anybody have anything to add before I move on?
I'm actually trying to find her channel so I can throw it up here. But I can't find it. So, what's the name of her channel again?
Well, I don't know that she has a channel other than what he may have put. I will do this. I will put in the comments 2 links that Mother Trucker had on his interview that he did. They're going to show up probably 3 times or many times because of the many channels we're simulcasting on. She had an Instagram and a TikTok. So you will see that in the comments. Hopefully they'll populate. You can follow the links from there. An Instagram and a TikTok. So,
well, the video that you played of her was from a YouTube channel.
Yes, it was from Mother Trucker. He did an interview with her many, many years ago. And
okay.
Yeah, Candace Harmony, she's up on TikTok on that one. Yeah, she's got quite a bit of following there. 76,000 or almost 76,000 followers. So, yeah, very good messages, very good, inspiring. Come on. Trying to go back and click the other link for Instagram. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, check it out. She's got a good following and she's got a great message. Hopefully, we can celebrate her well. And once again, my heart goes out to the family. Losing somebody under those circumstances is never easy. So, something I don't have visuals on, but yet I think is equally as poignant to talk about: truck parking. I have a link in the description of this video that only talks about one thing I'm going to talk about, but it segues into what I want to talk about, and that's how parking is changing. Love's Travel Centers have recently undertaken a rather confusing mission. And I say confusing because a lot of people in the industry are thinking it's one thing, and it's really not. But the article goes to mention and explain what Love's is doing. What they're doing is they're putting numbers in their parking spaces. And a lot of people are taking issue with it because they're thinking that the reason is, and this is social media BS that's going on, the reason is because they want to eventually charge for parking. And I don't know of any Loves anywhere that's ever charged for parking. with the exception of very few spots. But the article goes on to say that the reason is twofold. The reason they're putting numbering spaces, which kind of makes sense, is because what they're trying to do is better direct delivery services and emergency services to a specific location when an event takes place. If you order DoorDash, you can say, I'm at such and such a Love's location, space number 22. And they can come in and find you. You don't have to worry about them, getting lost in a parking lot or not delivering your stuff. The other part is, God forbid a medical emergency shows up and you say, I'm at the Love's at the corner of someplace in Gary, Indiana, and you have no clue where in the parking lot. That can take up a lot of time trying to locate someone who may not be able to explain where they're at. So having numbering spaces allows more adequate communication that may save someone's life. What do you guys think about that? Is it good? Is that a good thing? A noble thing? Look at you, Fate. I mean, obviously, no one likes paying for parking, but no one likes the confusion of not knowing where the hell you are. What do you think?
No, I think that's a good idea. I mean, I order stuff off DoorDash, and I always say, like, in the comments, hand to me that I'm at such and such truck stop. I will meet you at the main entrance. You know what I mean? That way they're not driving around a lot trying to find.
Yeah, you go out of your way to meet with them so as to save the problem and the issue of them locating you. So that makes sense.
No. And I'll pay for parking if that's what they're doing. Part of the industry.
I don't think that's going to even be an issue. I mean, Midlife, I understand you did some background investigation when I mentioned I was going to talk about this. What did you find out about the
I just researched it and found that I just researched it and found what you were talking about, where Love's interviewed. The owner said he doesn't charge for parking. Now he is expanding to include RVs. They are a travel center after all. They started as a gas pump. I'm with Fate. I don't mind paying for parking as long as if I reserve parking, when I get there, my reservation needs to be there. Kind of like that video that we used to see, that little clip where he shows up and says at the airport and says, hey, you got my reservation? Yeah, we got your reservation. You got my car? No. That was a problem.
Yeah.
Because when I get there, I want the reservation to be there. Now, I'll tell you now, it's worth complaining heavily to Tennessee about that. If you go to a Flying J or a Pilot and they won't give you a reserved spot.
Yeah.
Of course, it comes from us truckers being idiots and pulling guns on people, and threatening to beat their ass.
That's never a good result. No matter what, if they're right, if they're wrong, you never want to bring you never want to bring lead into the conversation. Let me ask you a question, Larry. Have you ever gone the route of actually looking at other resources for parking other than truck stops?
I normally park in rest areas.
Well, I mean, that's good for some.
I like the rest areas because they're quieter.
Yeah. Sometimes depends on where you go.
Sure.
Recently, it's been discussed amongst us here on the panel about undertaking I want to say, investigative tour into different options for parking. Would you care to opine on one of those ideas, my friend? John, I understand, kind of thought it would be interesting to look at other paid services.
Yeah, actually, in a conversation that we were all having at one point, I actually didn't know there's actually apps that are designated just for parking. You join like as a club, and they have places you can go to. I thought that was kind of unique. I've actually never heard of that. I do want to point out one thing about what you were saying about Loves. So we started the show talking about losing weight and being healthy. And now we're talking about how you can get your fast food brought right to your truck, and you don't have to get out of your truck to get it. I mean, are we doing like a yin and yang thing here?
No, we're being realistic.
There are healthy options that you can have delivered to your truck.
I eat a vegan diet and have DoorDash delivered to my truck, John.
Do they actually support that, Fate? I mean, really?
Who?
DoorDash. Vegan diets? I didn't think most people driving DoorDash knew what a vegan diet was.
Well, no,
they
you order
pick it
from
up
the
from
restaurants. It's a vegan restaurant.
I'm just picking
My
on you, Faith.
food. My
all that
food
means is they're not going to steal his food on the way there.
No,
My wife is
food
looking at me
vegan.
like I'm all serious. Like, did I really just hear you ask Faith that question? I'm picking on you, buddy.
No, I just said all that means is they're not going to steal his food on the way there.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, if they do, they're going to be eating like a rabbit.
I've just been shown. Give me that. I've just been up by my own wife. She says even Olive Garden has vegan choices.
Oh, you suck. You suck.
I know. You know what? It ain't my fault.
No vegan crap. It's gonna be for pasta.
Yeah, right. Hey, it ain't my fault. I went there last night and had that menu sitting right in front of me. I'm sorry. I mean, you guys are on this diet thing.
I don't want to derail your life, but I'm just curious. What did you eat while you were at Olive Garden, boss man?
Oh, you suck.
I did the full steak and fettuccine thing. I mean, it was a big plate. I mean, I don't go light when I go in.
All right.
Yeah.
Just to let
So
keep this live going for a little bit. I know exactly where he's at.
Yeah.
So that's where you gained that pound you were talking about a while ago.
Interesting that you asked the question, though, because the reason we have that whole menu up is because those in the audience that may not know, my oldest of my two boys has a dietary issue and cannot eat any dairy. So every time we go to a restaurant, we have to pull up all the ingredients and find out before we go there what specifically he can eat and what he can't, because any dairy this kid touches and he's in the hospital instantly. So for all the recommendations you lob at me, Fate, I totally thank you for and respect you for. But we carry that stuff up just with us because we want to make sure that he's not going to be negatively affected. But in that, the wife had chicken parm last night and had a steak similar to mine, and yeah. So that 1 pound I referenced at the start of this show, that's where it's from.
This is no fair. No fair.
Let's make it clear to you, because this is an inside joke. So this is an inside joke. So everybody that's watching, just so you guys know, we're in that weight loss challenge, and midlife's weakness is Olive Garden. So that's why we're kind of hammering this home right now.
That's why he's saying that. Oh,
yeah, like you didn't know.
I found his weakness. Well,
the wife's
I think it's funny you guys are all talking about eating healthy, but yet I can't wait to see what their weights are come September 1st.
Yeah, I want to see what the end result is too. We lost Fate for some reason.
I was going to talk a little bit on that parking deal.
By all means, that's part of the topic. I was just about to catch up on comments. What you got, the Grumpy?
Well, Love's originated here in Oklahoma. Well, here lately, and actually there's been a few drivers that do videos have been putting it up. Some of the Loves actually have got these new signs that state if you're not buying fuel from them, you cannot park in their parking lot. I don't know what the deal is with that. I haven't had a chance to be at one to find out.
It's a specific Loves that only has 25 to 30 parking places. And they had a problem with people leaving trucks there for a week at a time to go home in 3 and 4 days. And that particular Loves is going to be redoing their parking lot eventually. Right now, they're trying to keep their parking lot available for customers and not somebody leaving the truck to go to home time. They also have a problem with RVs there.
Yeah, so that's an
There's
isolated.
apparently a dispensary nearby, and a couple of RVs were camping there for long periods.
Oh, imagine that.
It was a pilot program that loved trying to see if it would work.
Yeah.
To do a tour of the people that stay there for weeks at a time.
Those watching, you're welcome to put into the comments the answer to the next question. Is it me, or do you notice an increasing amount of TAs and Petros putting in these gates and only allowing for 2-hour parking?
Oh yeah.
Let me know in the comments if
absolutely.
you've noticed, and if you've noticed any recently. Cartersville, Georgia. I've noticed Cartersville, Georgia doing this. I've noticed also, trying to remember, there was another one down 75 through Georgia. At least 2 locations I know of in Georgia. They're installing these parking gates now, and they're making this big push about charging everybody. Now, my
100%
question
on
to you,
board.
well, go ahead, Tom. I didn't mean to.
They're
step on
not.
you. What'd you
They're
say?
not charging everybody. That's a misnomer to say they're charging everybody. They're not charging everybody.
Well,
They're
if you stay in a
reserving the
facility more
parking
than 2
lot.
hours, they're going to charge you.
No, they're not charging you. They're reserving the parking lot for their paying customers. If you eat in their restaurant, if you get their
Right.
car wash, if you buy fuel, get repairs done, you show a receipt that shows you spent $25, $30 there, they're good to go. They're reserving the parking lot for their customers. They don't want
Well, I
us
get that.
driving in there, dropping our bags of crap in the parking lot, throwing away the trash, complaining heavily, spending 10 to 15 hours there. They want
Oh, yeah.
customers.
All of that I get, and I fully agree with. However, there are those chains, and there are different chains, because TA ain't just a solitary company. They've got different franchises and different chains. There are those that are really upping their price, and they're making it, quite honestly, hard to want to park there, because what they'll do is you have some of these that are installing these gates, and all they're requiring is that you go in and buy $25 worth of product. That would be your free pass to get out. There are others, however, that are requiring you to buy 60 gallons of fuel, or they're requiring dollar amounts that are so darn high, it's twice what you'd pay to park anywhere else. So why even do it? It becomes a is it worth it question. And that's what I think the average person has a problem with, albeit I understand your point, Tom. Where do we draw the line? Okay, we want paying customers. I get that. But are you chasing them away, or are you justifying your existence?
Okay, I tell you what, you haul freight for free next week. I mean, come on, haul freight
What
for
does that?
free next week.
What does that have to do with reasonable charges to get in and out of a parking lot?
It's their property.
nothing
They
to do
own
with
it. Don't like it? Don't go there. Private
True
property
that.
right.
But I get that, and I agree with that. But what's the difference between making somebody pay $60 versus paying 20? Why is
They
it
can
so
charge
much
whatever they
easier for the
want.
person that
It's
charges
theirs.
20 than it is for the person charging almost 3 times that amount? What's the
But they're
difference?
getting fuel.
Supply and demand. If you're
Well,
in
true.
Ontario, California, you can charge $50 and you'll get it every time. Aurora, Colorado, they can charge whatever they want. If you're in
Right.
Timbuktu, Brazil, Indiana, you're not
Yeah.
going to be able to charge that.
Yeah. No, obviously. Yeah. And it
that's
really
why-
depends
that's
on
when these
the
other
volume
trucking
of
places
traffic.
come in. Yeah.
Right.
And they should
Well,
be
if-
able to make money on their parking lots, because they're not making money on their shops like they used to. Nobody's buying stuff in the convenience stores. We don't go to the restaurants.
Right.
I mean, come on. When was the last time you ate in one of the restaurants? Oh, wait a minute. You might have. I can tell you now, it's been before August 1st for me. So I'm sitting in the parking lot of a Love's right now. I haven't spent a dime in there. I haven't even went in their store. I'm not going to
Right.
buy any snacks here. I'm not going to buy any food here. I'm not going to buy any fuel here. But I've tied up one of their parking places. It's going to be for 2 hours.
I
they
got to
not
respect
work on-
somebody's opinion on stuff. I had to bring this fella up and just answer the question. Where's everybody at? Trucker Todd, I don't know who he is. I don't know who you're watching. But you know
Can
what?
I-
Everybody starts
Can I
somewhere.
comment on that? No,
You
can I
certainly
comment
may,
on
my
that?
friend.
Yeah.
You certainly
Hey,
may.
Mr. Diapers. I've been reading your comments as we're sitting here, and I just want to say, as I'm reading your comments, you obviously have no clue, because this isn't just casted on one channel where you're saying there's 5 people. It's casted on 4 channels
Right.
where there are a lot more than 4 people watching. So, I understand that you didn't
Maybe-
understand that, but you're making yourself look stupid. So stop leaving comments like that.
Well, maybe I didn't preface the start of my
Ding,
show.
ding. Oh,
Yeah, right. No, it works like this, buddy. Okay. Maybe I didn't preface the start of my show correctly. I don't know it all. I am no expert. I am not the king of anything. I am a broadcaster. And what I do with this show is I bring together people, all walks of life, all areas, flatbedders, reefers, you, me. Well, I bring this all together, and I have a platform of people that want to share ideas, thoughts, inspiration, and news. You know what? It may only be 5 today, but next week I may hit on some big article or some big trend, and there'll be hundreds. And next year I may have millions. So you talk about your 5 people all day long. You talk about your negative all day long. Trucker Todd has his show. I have mine. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to be threatened, nor will I be bothered by what you're saying. So
Can I say one more thing?
You may.
Okay. Also wanted to add one more thing to that, man. You need to watch this live stream all the way to the end. Go to all of our channels, watch all of our channels, and make sure you're leaving all those kind of comments on all of our videos because we hate it. So you need to go do that right now.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love to do nothing more than sit here and entertain all of the comments that I see this fella leaving. I'm sure in another lifetime, you know, your comments would serve to have a purpose, and they would inspire others. But I'm not going to give them the time of day of the publicity of discussion. I welcome dissent on my channel. I open a platform so that you can come here and you can intelligently and intellectually share your thoughts and opinions. But if you're going to leave comments and opinions the way I'm seeing them on here, you'll never see the light of day on my platform. I'm sorry.
And
He's a professional troll. Okay.
Let me tell you.
If he's a driver, he's the reason why we're having all these problems in the first place.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, he says he's a troll and he's happy to oblige. Driving with John. Go watch all the videos and make sure you leave bad comments on all of them. Okay? Because I would hate that. So go do that.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to move on because you know what? I've given this guy too much time already. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to give on to the reason why we're here. Okay? PFJ doesn't call it reserved parking. No. They're just as bad as TA, but they don't have the gates. But they do have reserved, and they do have, like Tom says, an earnest desire for paying customers. You know, and I get what Tom is saying. I wholeheartedly agree with it. You know, it's not cheap to run a truck stop. It's not cheap to pay the taxes, pay the employees, pay the upkeep, do things that actually serve us. Okay, these truck stops are here for our benefit. They could easily shut the doors tomorrow and we would be searching for parking forever. So we owe it to them to respect their decisions. I don't like that they're charging different prices. My whole theory behind the whole bringing up the story is that fact and that one alone. I don't contest that they charge for it. What I contest is the difference. Now, if you're going to make it to where we have to pay, which I totally understand and respect, at least be consistent. You know, one of my other loyal viewers brings up another thing I wanted to bring up today, and that's parking club. I have seen, and this is why I deferred to you a few moments back, John. I have seen a huge increase in private lots. And let me tell you something. With how trucking parking is actually having its slow roll and improving, you know, i.e. infrastructure, the bills, the people building, the lack of, I've actually entertained the idea of looking online for exactly what Poet is talking about. Parking clubs, places where you can go, and whether it's one night, one day, one occasion, or by the month if you want, pay them and park somewhere where there's really nothing other than the amenities they allow. And some of them are quite rich in amenities. Others, all they have is the cement parking lot in a gated area and security. That's it. Others, you've got showers, you've got laundries, you've got restrooms, a lounge, you got all kinds of stuff. And I understand at one point in time, Tom, you did a lot of research on a couple of these places, and you're currently looking into experiencing it for your viewing audience? What kind of luck have you had in that?
I did a video. I went to Riggy's in Memphis, Tennessee. And the funny thing about that place is it is literally almost a bordering property to that sea line. You know, the one that made the national news because they charge $1,200 if they put a hook on you. And I have to say, I 100% agree with them. If the truckers don't see the 18 signs in their parking lot that says pay your $15 parking fee before you park your truck or you will be towed, booted, and fined. I mean, there's 18 signs that tell you this. And yet people back into the truck parking place, go to sleep, pull their curtains, wake up in the morning and going and wondering what the hell happened? Why do I got this big chain on my axle?
Yeah.
$15, man. Now, Riggy's, I paid more than that. I think it was 28. Cheap Freight Hauler just put a comment up, which you guys highlighted there. When you think $1,500 for fuel, they're making 28 cents a gallon on fuel. They're not making their money on fuel anymore. What has happened is we aren't the only ones that got hurt in this industry.
Well, what he's referring to,
the truck stops are brutally being beaten.
Yeah. What Cheap Freight Hauler is referring to is that loyalty program that TA Petro and I'm part of this. I buy strictly fuel from one chain. I do it for consistency for a number of reasons, but the best benefit I get is I get the coupons, the freebies, and the perks like the free meals, the free parking at places where it's allowed, you know, because you can use ultra credits for it. You can also use the points gained as monetary exchange for buying, you know, you can use, you know, the membership points to buy things. You know, I've been doing it so long that what he's talking about here, you know, you buy 1,500 gallons exclusively. You shouldn't have to spend $30 or more dollars. Now understand there's two parts to this. You can use your loyalty points to pay for a reserved spot. But now if there's a third party, you know, that does the security, they don't take that. You have to pay separately to get access to the property. So that's what he's referring to. And that's the problem. And that's where the inconsistency I raised earlier comes into play, because some companies running it will only require that you spend $20. Others, more. And that's the problem I have. And I think that's what he's trying to agree with. What's that?
Do you think maybe they need to pass a regulation?
Nah, I knew you were going to bring that up. You're a sucker, you know that? What you got, Frank?
Well, to add to that, you know, I myself have never had to do that paid parking thing, but I would make an exception on the factor that I would pay for it if it was in an actual secured lotted area where they have security at all times and cameras, so that I know that if I'm paying for it, at least I know they're going to be watching and making sure nobody's going to break into my stuff or steal my fuel, things like that. That's worth paying for. Now, going to TA, Petro, Loves, wherever they want to charge us for a slot and charging anywhere from $15 to $20 a night, I'm not for that. I mean, I understand they make a little bit off of it, but I'm still not for that because they're not watching me. If somebody breaks into my truck or somebody steals my fuel, they could care less.
Right. I see somebody backstage. I see a... all right, one backstage, give me 2 fingers in the air if you're willing to come on stage. Give me a thumbs up if you want to come up. There you go. Okay, all right. All right. I'm going to bring somebody. Okay, give me a second. I'm going to bring somebody on. I see this name. I've got a doubt I think he's playing with us. I don't know, guys. Do you think I should be nice to the guy backstage?
Try it.
No.
Who is it?
I think it's somebody we all know. But let me see if I'm wrong.
I'm back. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
I kind of figured he had some sort of game plan. He dived out real quick. Look at the name on his thing. I know, John, you could see it.
No, I can't actually.
Oh, here, you can see it now.
I have to wait till it comes up on my tablet. Sorry.
No, it's right there on the screen.
I'm better than you.
Uh,
Yeah, I am better than you. You're right.
dude, he is dissing all of us. Fate, what got you on this, man? I swear, you're funny as hell right now.
What you got on your head?
I took my hat off. It's too hot for a hat.
Did you fall down and hit your forehead
So
and you
my
need a
sweat
bandage or
bandana?
what? Oh, a sweat
No, it's
bandana.
my sweat bandana for when I sweat. I had to move doors. I, like a smart trucker, they told me to back into door 86 and I backed into door 88. So they called me
Right.
wondering where I was.
Okay.
So I had to jump off real quick and back into
Yeah.
the right door.
I kind of
That's
figured
why-
that
Too
you were.
funny.
I kind of figured you were coming on with that because I was afraid you were one of the trolls, let's just say. But yeah, when I looked at you backstage, I saw who you were. I was like trying to process why is his name changed.
Just
But it's all
messing
good
around.
fun. I appreciate it.
I jumped back
Look,
in 'cause I heard you. I heard
no,
you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I heard you talking about. I heard you talking about paying for parking. I rent a spot near where I live. It's about 30 miles away from where I live. It costs me $375 a month, and I have not parked there in over a month. You know what I mean? So I pay for parking that I don't even park at. But like
Wow.
Grumpy was saying, it's a secured facility. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's honestly a good thing. I mean, because when you think about it, I mean, some of them you get amenities, some of them you don't. I mean, I can't speak for what you do, but I noticed
Can't change my name.
just with several large cities I've been in this week alone. I'm trying to remember. One of them was up near you, I think Detroit, and even
Well-
Detroit I was at. And then I came down closer to Cincinnati. There's a huge amount of private lots that aren't even showing up under truck stop searches, which is blowing my mind. I'm like, it's an upcoming trend. They're more and more noticeable now. So that's why I thought I'd bring it up because, I mean, sooner or later, it's going to probably be beneficial for us to actually do something like that because more coming up. It's solving that trucking shortage on parking. It really is.
There's a Love's. I forget what highway it's on. It's east of Nashville. And right across the street from the Love's is a private lot that's all fenced in.
Yep.
You gotta get a ticket when you enter it, and then you pay when you leave. And I'll tell you what, it's a really nice lot. Like, I mean, it's like class 5 fill, or you know what I mean? It's not paved,
Right.
but
Yep.
it's a very nice parking spot. And there's always spots to park there. And it's
Right.
right
You're
across
talking
the
about
street
the
from the
one that's
Love's.
up-
And if you notice,
You're-
the Love's tanker trucks park in there. However,
Yep.
that particular location is owned. They own 2 of those lots and plan to build more. And I did a video on Riggy's in Memphis, Tennessee. Riggy's is out of Texas. They already have 5 or 6 locations in Texas. Now they have the one in Memphis. That's their first location outside of there. I paid $28 for a night there. I could have went to Sea Line right down the street for $15, but I wasn't going to support them. And I could have fought for a position at the Love's, but I wanted to check this place out. Beautiful pavement, lined, numbered spots. I didn't have to worry about somebody stealing your spot because without your phone, you weren't getting in. And you could also go into they had a beautiful recreation room to go in, watch television, do your laundry, showers. Now the laundry was coin operated, but showers were free. Towels are provided. They could do a little better on towels. Fortunately, I carry my own because the Hitchhiker's Guide says never travel without your towel. Some of you are old enough to get that reference, but
Some of us.
we are getting better amenities in the private parking ones, but there's still too many people who say, I ain't paying for parking. I will just put my truck wherever it sits, it fits. Well, the problem with that is then they get mad when somebody knocks on their window at 2 a.m. and says, you got to move.
Yeah, exactly. Part of the main reason why I bring these issues up is because you know what? It's really easy for us to sit on this. I'm old school. I want to get things done my way. Be stubborn. Okay. Well, how's that working for you, buddy? I mean, come on. They
Well,
have these things called phones and they have these things called apps. It might be hard to relate to, but it does help. And you know what? You've got to be somewhat new rule to figure that out and actually be willing to try it. What's the worst that can happen? You have a bad experience. Oh, well, move on. I mean, come on. I've done a lot of things in my time I don't feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I will
To
continue
that,
doing it.
to
What?
that, I'll add the factor that there's a lot of drivers that I spoke with that whenever this ELD conversion thing was going on, a lot of the
Mhm.
drivers were like, I'll just keep my flip phone so I don't have to switch over. Wrong answer. Didn't work that way.
How did that work for you? Yeah.
I don't know. I already had one of these fancy smartphones, so I was in good shape.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I will say this when it comes to paid parking, and the only
Mm-hmm.
reason I can say this is I was talking to Big John the other day, and he was telling me that his company doesn't like reimburse if he has to pay for parking. That I don't agree with.
Oh,
Uh,
wait.
yeah.
Why should they? It benefits me, the driver. My company doesn't benefit. They don't reimburse me for it. It benefits
They most
me,
certainly
the
should.
driver. Why? Why should they? It
Because
benefits me,
they're
the
planning,
driver.
the company is planning your route for you.
All right. So if the carrier was suddenly responsible and had to pay for your parking, then the carrier could dictate when you shut down and where you park, right?
They already do.
What if you still wanted to drive 3 or 4 more hours?
Wait a minute. Can I weigh in here?
Hold on. I'm talking about the guy I just said, Big John. His routes are planned. Like, if you have somebody else planning your route, you are not in control of certain aspects of that route.
That's mommy
Right.
control. I don't want that. I'm just told, hey,
Let-
here's
let
where
me-
you got to go. Get it there.
No, let me explain. Okay, I'm Big John, by the way. Can you guys hear me okay?
We hear you.
Yes, we can hear you
Yeah.
fine. You're just not on camera.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. The reason why he's saying that is my company does a lot of relays or splits, depending on what you want to call them. And they'll split you at a location that's paid parking only, but they don't pay for parking. So you have to go there and sit and wait for a load, or go there and meet someone that has a load, or take their load, whatever. But they don't pay for that. So your only option is to, especially if it's like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning, is to stay there. So you're gonna have to pay for parking.
Yeah.
So
Now here's something.
Well,
in that
everybody's got-
situation, I agree with Pate, but most of the time I wouldn't.
Here
Yeah.
is something that you should consider, and this is an important thing that could actually benefit new drivers. If you're getting ready to come into this industry, one of the questions you should be asking a recruiter or asking other people at the company is, hey, what's your company's parking network look like? Because when I chose Millis, which got bought by Heartland, they have a beautiful terminal network. They've got a lot of terminals across the United States and drop yards. There's actually one carrier, Averett, which advertises their parking network when they're recruiting customers. And of course, you got Walmart. They got one of them suckers in every city. So, and my company has a place that we can park our trucks in major cities. That's a benefit that people need to be asking the recruiter before. It's a question we didn't think to ask.
I agree with him.
Okay. I just saw something that kind of put some context into what we're talking about here. So
I 100%
Midlife,
agree with him also.
And let me say
Yeah.
this too. I've said this on another live show with you guys.
ahead.
If you pay for parking and you get there and there is no parking spots available, make sure you go inside, talk to whoever is at the fuel desk. Sometimes they'll let you park in strategic areas of the truck stop. If they refuse to give you a refund, look at your receipt. On the very bottom of the receipt in small print, it says, if they can't honor the reserved spot, they have to refund you the money. But they're trained to tell you we don't give refunds on paid parking. But if they can't provide it for you, they have to reimburse you.
Right.
Well, I mean, that makes a lot of sense right there, Fate, because if you wind up paying for something that you purchase, like from Amazon, for example, and you just don't receive it, obviously they're going to give you your money back. So that's a no-brainer. They should do that.
But so I agree with you. But let's say you walked up there, you reserved a spot, and you walked in and said, I want a refund on this. They're going to tell you we don't give refunds on paid parking. And the first line of the receipt for the paid parking spot says there is no refunds. You have to go down to basically the very small print of that receipt, and it explains to you how you can get your money back. If they can't honor the reservation, you get your money back.
One of them pencil pushing ideas.
Yeah, I need to clarify something. All right, I've seen a little bit of discussion going on in the comments. I got to make something known. First of all, the one comment highlighted what happened to my wrench on my channel, Poet. You do have a wrench. I made sure of that day before yesterday when I was looking through the last live I had. So
he's not on his normal account. He's not on his normal account. He's talking about on my channel.
Oh, is he? Okay. I just wanted to make sure he knew that on my channel he has a wrench. All right. So, because I definitely welcome his input to the channel. So, another thing is, you know what? I'm not perfect. I started my show out saying that, and I've seen some dialogue going on between one of the panelists and one of the people in the show, and suffice it to say, I don't censor nobody. But I will say one thing. There are certain comments and certain ideologies I don't entertain on this channel. This channel is about
censorship.
News. No, it's not.
That's 100% censorship.
What I'm doing.
That's censorship.
Let me finish, Faye, and then I'll entertain your comment. I know exactly where you're going. But there are certain trollistic comments I will not entertain. Dissent and argumentative, topical comments, yes, I have no problem. That's why you're on the show, Faith, because I enjoy your idea of dissent and playing devil's advocate. I love it, and I welcome that from everybody. But you have to think carefully when you put comments up that are going to go public. I am not going to put you in the position, nor this channel in the position of having to defend or justify its right to exist based on someone's misinformed opinion. So I take very seriously. Well, give me a second. I take very seriously because there are two people on this panel right now that are monetized, and I will not jeopardize their ability to stay monetized by what goes over this channel. I'm not monetized, but I don't want to endanger that either. So
I just want to say this. I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong, but everything you just explained is censorship. That is 100% censorship. I'm not saying you're in the wrong, and you don't have to put a comment up if you don't want to. But if you are going to tell, like your reasoning behind not putting the comment up is because you're worried of like the outlier effect of what would happen to somebody else's channel, the monetization of your channel, yada, et cetera, et cetera. That's censorship.
It really
it's not. It 100% is.
I totally respect your opinion.
It is.
If we were in a town square and you told somebody they couldn't talk, that's censorship. When you're in somebody's business, they can tell you how to behave. This is his channel. He can tell people this is what I expect.
On a public domain. This is a public domain. And you're
telling me if I set up a hot dog stand in the middle of a city square and somebody comes up and they say, no, I hate hot dog people. I want a hamburger guy. You suck, blah, 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 blah. And then wants to buy a hot dog from me. I can refuse business. It doesn't matter if it's in public or not. It's not censorship. It's doing business.
You're not stopping them from saying anything.
Yeah. He's not.
There's a major
Yeah.
difference.
He's not saying that Boss Man can't do it. He's just saying
Okay,
that
let me change it. Let me change it.
but he's going to censor. So it's definitely Boss Man's right to say, no, this person can't comment. But what he's saying is you can't say, I'm not going to censor. And then the next line you say, but I'm going to censor. So, it's okay. It's fine. You're allowed to censor.
Yes.
There's no rule.
Okay, wait a minute. You two need to stop ganging up on everybody. Hang on. Hey, you make videos. Why don't you make flatbed videos?
What?
Why don't you make flatbed videos?
Because I don't run flatbed.
Oh, but you can choose what you put in your videos, right?
I'm not telling somebody else that they can't comment about a flatbed video on my channel.
And he's not saying people can't comment. He's saying he's not going to read
You're
that
missing
comment.
John.
He's not censoring anybody. He's
He
choosing.
He doesn't have to read anything. That's not what I said. You have to really listen to what I said, John. What I said was,
he's not censoring. He's letting the guy have a voice.
If you say, I'm not going to censor this, but I won't entertain it, right? That's somebody's opinion on something. He doesn't have to put it up on his screen.
Okay, hang on.
This is the reason.
Entertain as in read it.
Hold on. This is the reason why I'm mentioning this to begin with, okay? As much as I respect and honor your opinion, Faith, I don't discount it, nor do I hold against you your ability to say what you're saying. This gentleman says, oh, you're going to censor me now? Oh, please don't. No, the reason I'm not entertaining the subject matter that was in some of his earlier comments is because that's not the kind of channel that I am. I am a news channel, and I'm a commentary and opinion channel. Some of the things that were on earlier comments, I don't see as it being fit for the audience, nor do I see it being actual discussion worth having on this channel. So that's the reason I didn't read it. I am not censoring the man. It's just I am not putting that kind of crap on my show. That's just the way I feel. And I have every right to do that.
100%. I'm not saying you don't have a right to do that, but what you
that's
just
not
said,
censorship.
What he just said is the stuff that's in the comment doesn't pertain to what we're discussing right now, correct? Right. Or it might be it might be rude or inconsiderate, right? Whatever the reasoning.
Do you know what censorship
you
is?
Have a right.
Censorship means you delete the comment,
whatever,
or you don't let them talk. That's censorship. He's not he's allowing him to leave comments.
What I'm
he's
actually
just not going to read them,
which is a form of censorship.
That's not censorship.
If you choose not to entertain everything, right? You pick and choose what you are going to put on the screen, which is 100% your right to do. That is censoring that thing.
Look at the top of the screen.
No, it's not.
A minute.
You may or may not be able to see
30.
this. Top of the screen, we are running over. We are running 1 hour, 13 minutes. If I were to have censored this show, my friend, I would have ended it at an hour and I would not have even mentioned his name. I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to intrigue the audience with, if you want to have discourse on my channel, including this fella's name, Biden wears diapers, I have no problem.
That's a great name.
With you conversing with us.
Okay, he's a troll. He's a troll, but that is a great name. You got to give him credit for that.
I encourage anyone to actively converse with me. I have no problem. But realize this is a broadcast that benefits all truckers. And if you're going to get on my show, I am going to expect one thing. And that one thing is keep it decent and keep it professional. Everyone on this panel, and I do mean every one of you, have asked and have honored that. I expect the same from my audience as well. This show will not be turned into a negative Nelly for other people to tune away from. What say you, Tom?
Hey, it's your show. You can do what you want on it. I understood what Fate was saying. And like I said, it's your right not to read any comment you don't want to. I happen to know Biden wears diapers personally. He's a professional troll. He is a truck driver. He's a real person. he just loves stirring up controversy and comments.
And
And
because
he also gets comments going and revert to him, which causes a lot
Tom,
of feedback.
your point
Now I
you
gotta
just
read
made a
these
minute
comments.
ago is the entire reason why I'm even entertaining a discussion about this fellow. Because you know what? Anyone that is friends of any one of you on the panel, I owe a huge amount of debt to. Because you, especially you, everybody on the panel, are what make this show possible. And those you bring, as well as your points you bring, I give equal time and respect to. So the only reason I'm talking about this, Tom, is because you're familiar with him. And you know about
last comment.
his last comment.
Well,
The very last comment.
censorship is not you encouraging something. Censorship is basically telling someone they can't say something. He's allowed to comment. No one's stopping him.
Is that the comment you're talking about, Tom?
Yeah, he's just trying to get a little controversy going so that the back and forth causes people to answer and comment.
Well, and I have no problem with that, okay? All I'm going to do, I'm going to just ask anyone that wants
And
to
I
engage in
want
this
everything for
conversation.
free. That's why I'm a business owner. Give it all to me
You know
for
what?
free.
Everyone that's watching this
And we
channel
all
right
censor.
now, go to Fade Truckin and send him
No.
all the coupons you have. No, joking.
I don't
Seriously.
want coupons. I want money. Give me all your money.
Wait, no, I
Coupons
want
don't
their
do me
money.
anything.
Make
No,
it
no,
hard.
I want their money.
Comment.
On anything.
I want
Make
to
it
weigh in
hard
on
to-
this.
Go ahead, Frank.
I look at it as you're not censoring, you're editing while we are live. Therefore, you're only reading what is necessary and what needs to be pertained to. Yes, comments will come, comments will go. They're great. Some of them are funny, some of them aren't. That's why you're pertaining to mainly the ones that are pertaining to what you're speaking of. Therefore, you are proofreading, editing. So
Is there an
that's
end?
how I see it.
Is there an end to what's pertaining? Because you seem to use that word quite a few times in that one sentence. Just saying.
I don't know.
What are you pertaining to? I mean, are you talking about comments?
If we're gonna give this guy this much airtime, can you please put my comment up there that I replied back to him with? Because I thought it was pretty good.
How about
Which
we move
comment are you
on?
talking about?
I want some airtime here, damn it! Don't give the troll all the airtime.
Oh, he's got his little airtime he's going to have right now because I'm going to move on. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to
No, show my
encourage
comment
everybody-
first.
Which comment are you talking about?
We don't censor dirty diapers.
That just won't say it. I love it. I don't have to highlight it because I can't find it. Honestly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to entertain this opportunity to do one thing, and that's encourage anybody and everybody that's watching this show right now. I want you to know that when you try to talk to me, you have your moment. I will entertain your comments, but I'm going to do it in a way that helps everyone. I am not going to sit here and disadvantage everybody and anybody with a bunch of stuff that is just going to do nothing but just waste airtime and serve no purpose. So I will honor that, okay? Because my main thing right now is taking on the media. The media complex is what really, honestly, is the reason we're here. I can't do everyone's job. I cannot read every single comment that comes up. There's just way too much. But I do want to tell you one thing. This I will do. I will be here week after week. I will be reading comments. I will entertain the idea, allowing you to call the show and be part of a show that, believe you me, is not going anywhere. Realize it's people like you that make the difference. Be here, talking crap, telling you what it's about. Until next time, keep it real and keep it rolling.